Welcome to the Crimson Circle. Welcome to our monthly meeting. Here we are in Louisville, Colorado, and we have people here in the studio as well as you listening on BTR, watching on crimsoncircle.com, or listening on crimsoncircle.com. It's our pleasure to be here with you once again. Jeffrey Hoppy, our wonderful channeler, and I think it's going to be a good day.
So far, it's gotten off to a pretty good start. You never know. It's a beautiful day here in Colorado.
Gorgeous.
It's about 70 degrees. It's about 20 Celsius. Absolutely beautiful. They talked about it being windy. It's not even that today. It's like a spring day. And you know what that means?
We deserve it.
No, we're going to get snow. We're going to get snow. Because in Colorado,
it's the
when
calm
you have
before the storm.
one of those really beautiful days, and your body starts thinking about spring, and you start thinking about the nice weather ahead, and then it's kind of like the groundhog. When you get days like this, you know you're going to have like 8 more weeks of winter here in Colorado.
That is so inspiring, Jeff.
And we've been really lucky this season. We just got back from 3 weeks in Hawaii at Villa Amio. And of course, the weather there was beautiful. And they had their cold, snowy weather while we were gone. We come back and the weather gets nice, which is kind of nice.
Well, it's sort of a joke if what you're saying is true and it's going to snow the day after tomorrow.
It is going to snow the day after tomorrow, I'm sorry. And welcome to everybody here at the Crimson Circle Connection Center. It's good to see all of you here. I can feel the energies are really high. You can kind of tell beforehand, if you're back in the Masters Club and, people are kind of like, moving slow and kind of, like that. You know what the kind of day it's going to be. But today, everybody was happy and animated. And
well, the only thing I observed is that they were eating like nobody's fed them for 2 days.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, really.
Well, that's what we do.
If you get in their way, you might get hurt.
I'm sorry, but here with Shaumbra, we don't meditate. We don't go into a lot of ceremonies. We eat and we drink. Because we're supposed to. It's Adamus says, enjoy the good life, and that's what we're doing.
I didn't say it was good or it was bad. I just made an observation.
It's absolutely appropriate. So let's start out in talking about who's here at the studio today. We have a number of out-of-towners, I think.
Well, that's funny that you'd say that. I'm sorry to say, no, we don't.
Hang on a second. Note to self. Read cue list before we go on the air. Nobody wants to pretend they're from like someplace like Australia.
Wait. It's about the assume.
Assume. Don't make an ass out of
you and me.
You and me.
Okay. But there is one person that is
good.
One borderliner.
Borderline.
One borderliner. They are from Kentucky but moving here. Anya. There we go. There we go. Now you know.
Yeah. How soon are you going to move here?
I believe I'm here.
You're here.
Then see, she shouldn't have even been on the list.
So it's like that master's life. I am here. What are you talking about? I'm not going to move here. I am here. And no other out of state.
That's it. Not anybody that'll admit to it. They all lied or something.
Bad. Well, it is.
Maybe they were afraid of snow. Maybe they're from Boston.
No.
Alana and Patricia made it in.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure if they count for. Pretend you're from out of town today. Okay, and who's from out of town today? Oh,
Yay,
Patricia and Alana from Boston.
Yes, there we go.
Yeah, you got out on the last flight. You were able to get here in time. They're having quite a storm back on the East Coast. Yeah,
that's an understatement.
Well, thank you for coming all the way here just to be at this shout. I feel much better now. Anyway, it's a beautiful month. It started off with Linda's birthday on Thursday.
Birthdays are like timeshares. You just can't get rid of them.
Or I won't even go there. No, it's special. Now, Linda and I, we're opposites anyway. She's Pisces.
Is that obvious?
I'm Virgo. No. My birthday's at the end of the month, August 26th. Please jot
mark
that
it on
down.
your calendar.
Mark it on your calendar. And so I've got the whole month to celebrate, and I do. I inflict it on anybody who is around. Linda's is March 1. And normally, because February's short, you can't even forget. It's like, oh no, it's March 1st. Wow, it's here. And then it's done. You got the whole rest of the month. Nothing. So that's why I wanted to mention it here so everybody could give you a nice applause on your birthday.
Okay,
And
let's move on.
It's also St. Patrick's. I don't know if that means
Month.
anything to you. Month. We have the little graphic up on the slide. Welcome, Shaumbra. And
Jeff, what date is it?
what date is it?
St. Patrick's Day.
Oh.
I knew he didn't know it.
I know. I knew it was the 17th.
You did
I was
not.
going to say the 14th, but that's
See, I knew you didn't know it.
Ides of March. I always get them confused.
Ides of March is not the 14th.
I celebrate early. I celebrate. So, anyway, we're going
Ides
to
of
move.
March is not the 14th. And what was that celebrating? Wasn't it like celebrating the murder of Caesar?
I have to admit something. I'm totally disoriented ever since we got back on Tuesday. Absolutely disoriented. And I don't know if it's just me or if we're all that way. But, that's why I had to go get my slides right before because I left them in the green room. And Linda's like, no, it's okay. And I have no idea what we're going to talk about. I need those slides to know that, okay, now we're going to talk about the Wing series from last month, Wing Series 6. We're going to do a little video recap to really put us back in place.
Well, it just gets us back in alignment.
It does.
Yeah.
All right. Let's view what we did last month right here at the studio.
Okay.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how unusual or different were you when you were growing up? I asked the question today because all of you are probably, 9.5 or above in your level of weirdness. And you've kind of learned to accept it. There is a tremendous seduction, a gravity, to have you fit into mass consciousness. Nobody likes to be completely on the outside without the feeling that you belong to something. The mind gets very mentally unstable. Almost every one of you has had that feeling. Then the mind plays a funny trick. It fills that space with doubt, self-doubt. There's something wrong. I have to get back to norm. There is no going back. Just like with technology, there is no going back. It's the same with the old style of community. What's happening now is going to sovereignty. Let's just take a moment to please feel within yourself, not just my words, because it's there in every one of you. Feel within yourselves that you came in ahead of your time. Kind of crazy. On a scale of 1 to 10, right up there at 10. But there was something in the thrill that you loved about it. You came in ahead of your time, and now, to really make things confusing, is you're going out of time. That'll really mess you up if you think about it. So what do? We just allow it. Coming in ahead of your time, then going out of time. While we're talking about being ahead of your time, there have been some other amazing humans. Most of you are familiar with Nikola Tesla. Definitely ahead of his time, way ahead of his time, probably 100 years ahead of his time. He, like you, was an energy worker. He was so brilliant that he understood energy is free. It's in the air, literally in the air. He was so far ahead of his time, the world actually wasn't ready for it. You're probably 30, maybe 40 years ahead of your time. But time is moving faster than it did back then. Events are happening faster. You're ahead of your time. I'm gonna say you're the Teslas of consciousness. In these next 3 to 5 years, Crimson Circle is not going to grow much. As a matter of fact, it may even get smaller, may contract. The numbers might go down, less Shaumbra. But the ones who are here, really allowing their enlightenment, the ones who stay, really going deep within themselves for that integration with the Master. So here you have a group all around the world of thousands now who have allowed their realization, and many more who are like right there. But suddenly that changes the energy of all of the Crimson Circle, and suddenly there is that next wave that comes in, 3 to 5 years, and quite large numbers, again from all around the world, not attracted by the sensationalism of what's going on, but attracted by the energy. They're not going to know how they got here. They're not going to know much about Crimson Circle, but they're going to feel so attracted to it. They're going to feel attracted to you, to your radiance and light. And then that opens up a whole new phase. Get ready for it. Be prepared for it, is what I've asked the Crimson Circle organization, because then everything changes. But the next 3 to 5 years, it's a time for creating that safe space and allowing. That's it. Each one of these stick figures represents one of your lifetimes. The I am, you, the Master, have chosen this lifetime right here for your integration. What happens here is that the Master, which is basically all of the lifetimes, the wisdom of all the lifetimes, without facts and figures and details, it's just wisdom. That wisdom, that chalice, make this into a cup, a chalice. That chalice holds the wisdom of all the lifetimes, and it flows in right now to this lifetime. From this lifetime, you as the receiver, it then flows into all your other lifetimes. Right now, it's so important as our next step is to allow that wisdom to do what it does. Even in your sleep state, the wisdom is distilling, and you're feeling that process go on. To you in the human mind, it's a long dream night, and it's frustrating, and it goes on and on. You're just in the blender right now. You're in the pressure cooker, the distiller, and you're just feeling what that's like to have yourself wisdomized. That's my problem. I'm being wisdomized. Anyway, that was a recap from our last shout. And let's take a look at some of the recent events. Okay, some of the recent, I'm going to go back on that. Let's take a look. We had our first annual Red Scarf Day last month.
So apparently it's going to be a repeat thing.
Well, a lot of people are still wearing them. I mean, you can wear them year-round. It's not like, the color white you have to stop wearing after Memorial Day or something. Labor Day. No, you can wear.
Jeff.
We're a little loud on the microphones up here.
Can't you get it right?
No, you can wear your red scarf.
Did your mother pound that into you?
All year round. And we had, I think it was about 250 Shaumbra from around the world submit photos of wearing the red scarves last Shao Day. It was really amazing. We have I love that one. We have a few to show here, and then
I had to look at which finger he had up in there twice.
Let's double check.
Yeah, I had to.
Yeah, okay. But it was really amazing to get all these photos in, literally from all around the world. Really
Pretty fun, huh?
Amazing, yeah. Really beautiful. It showed. It just kind of, reminded me a lot of things. We have a lot more of the red scarf photos at the end of the day in the credits video. So stick around. Don't run out the door right away. Don't turn off the internet. Make sure to watch the credits video because there's a lot of great shots. They're really fun, yeah, really fun. So what else for last month, February?
Heaven. We were in heaven.
These were our very first workshops, our very first gatherings at Villa Amyo in Hawaii. The first was the Amyo Retreat, The
We
second
were a
was
little
Threshold.
nervous too because these
A
were the
little.
first events, and we wanted to make sure that we could get it right. And how do you prepare? And but I was nervous but excited.
Well, there was a lot of preparation, and it's a big property. It's almost acre and a half, and a fairly big villa house. But having never done something there before, and then bringing in all the food for the dinners and the breaks and the pizza parties and everything, there was a lot of details to go along with it. So we were a little nervous, but as it turned out, it was absolutely beautiful.
A delight.
It truly was. And just to give you
I'll work in heaven any day.
yeah, just to give you kind of a view, this looks over the pool and terrace area. Back here's the ocean. That's all ocean. It's so beautiful. And we set up all the chairs in here. We can easily accommodate 30 people. We pop up
Easily.
the tents. Linda and I talk from up here. The house is back over here. Pool's back over there. It was so beautiful. I mean, with all the work that had gone into it with everybody, and just a little tension, getting ready for it. It just went off in Amio style. It really, really did. I know a few of you here were there.
Who was at one of the two events? There were several people here that were at
At
sea.
either event.
Yeah.
If you don't believe us, talk to them. I mean,
Yeah.
it was a beautiful place. The island is amazing, and the villa. The energy has just blossomed there since we started going there, getting it ready, and I've just felt it transform. It was so evident. I mean, it wasn't just, well, maybe it's changing. You could just feel the whole property coming in to adapt to Amio, to adapt to being totally supporting for anyone who goes there. We had people from Europe, Australia, South America,
Japan, Korea.
US, of course, Canada, all over the world. So it was really a great initiation.
Italy.
The weather was beautiful, and it was just, we were in heaven.
Well, and it's incredible because, Adamus always talks about the only things human really, really always is at the top of their list about what matters is nature. So this ideal thing of being able to do small, intimate events in
In
nature.
nature.
And literally the birds would be singing and trying to keep up with Adamus. It was kind of sweet.
Yeah. Well, and I could feel the difference, too, in the channeling, because it was our own space. It wasn't like a hotel meeting room. And doing channeling in open air is just
Very
amazing. I feel so expansive. The messages from Adamus, particularly in the Amio retreat, were so strong. I loved it.
Well, and you walk right into a relaxing setting. So we noticed right away, as did the attendees, that there's no trying to get used to the space. You just walk in and it's there.
It's ready. It's like in service.
Yeah.
And then we had a couple days off and then did the threshold.
Right.
And it was interesting because we knew we were probably going to get a little rain for the opening dinner. So we prepared that we would all eat inside, and it's a huge space inside. We can actually do that. And
buffet style, so we
Yeah.
knew we could make it work.
so we get the food from a local, really good restaurant, excellent seafood, and bring all the food up. And we were setting it out on the covered lanai on the patio and getting it all ready. And it's like, yeah, it's probably going to rain a little bit. And then all hell broke loose. I mean, threshold hell broke loose.
Typical.
It happens a lot at threshold.
No broken legs. We just had.
A storm rolled in like I haven't seen in a long time. The winds came at about 40 to 50 miles an hour. It was raining sideways
Horizontal
in through the
rain.
screen door.
I've never seen anything like it.
The lids were flying off the chafing
Metal
dishes,
chafing dishes and the lids are flying.
bashing off into the house. And unfortunately, you and the others that were doing the food setup had the presence to quick go out and grab everything and bring it inside. And it stormed. I heard on the radio that it was 5 inches in less than an hour. And
It was incredibly unusual, almost unheard of. We had people that had been living on the island for 25 years that said they hadn't seen lightning more than once before in 25 years.
Yes.
I mean, it was an epic storm, and Adamus brought it. And the
No,
thresholders.
I think the thresholders brought it. And so the next morning I got up and the air was clear and the sun was out, and I was just standing out on the lanai marveling at the view and thinking, God, it's so clear. It must have been the rain cleaned away whatever was in the air. But it's unusually clear. And then I noticed a big 40-foot tree at the end of the property had come down, as a matter
Actually,
of fact.
that tree right there.
As a matter of fact, that tree right there. And I'm going to blame this on Alon. If we could get a shot, even though it's dark, I want Alon, because when he was there with us in October, he said, you know, that tree's blocking the view. That should really come down someday. So Alon brought it down. So,
Okay.
yeah. Anyway, we have a little recap of the two events that were held there, Amio Retreat and Threshold, if we could take a look at those. And we'll do a little talking over.
A little.
Again, such a view. I mean, that's an Amio view. First group arrives, and it was funny to see them walk into the house and around the property, and their mouths just kind of dropped open, like not just the visual, but the energy. And again, really fun being able to do it open air, outdoors. And the whole time the birds are singing. You could just hear them in the background, chirping away.
Oh, there's Blue Eyes.
We had 30 attendees at this, and we'll always limit it to 30, no more than that. The property's just right for it.
Because we can handle people inside or out, which
Inside
helps.
or out, yeah. We'd start at 9:30 each morning. People would start showing up about 8 to have coffee, to enjoy the we're still scurrying around in our swimming suits, and it's like, I'll be with you in just a moment. But they really, really enjoyed the property. Little geckos all over.
Everywhere.
The geckos are cute, though. They eat
That's the
bugs.
birds contributing to the pool.
It's really lovely being able to eat outdoors, the opening dinner.
Sunset every night.
Hey, every night people come back at about 5:30, watch the sunset. It is
No two sunsets are quite the same. It's panoramic and beautiful.
yes. We've seen the green flash. Yeah. And like Linda said, every night the sunset is different. Threshold got off to that stormy start. Here everybody's sitting around indoors after we had dinner. But it really worked out well. We went through the worst case and we got through it. And the house has a lot of different areas just for sitting, gathering, talking. So if it is raining, that you don't feel crowded at all.
No, it was very sweet. Almost perfect.
Pizza party. During Threshold, everybody gets at least a chance or two to get up front with Adamus.
At least.
I wouldn't want to do that.
He doesn't give him a choice.
No, I know. The interactions are really quite amazing.
Yeah, it's sweet. Everybody was so respectful of each other.
Yeah,
We did
Linda-
not know Linda knew how to act like that.
Yeah, she's got some real acting talent. We limit Threshold to 24 just because of the very intense
Intimacy.
nature and the fact that there's a lot of upfront time with Adamus.
And the intimate relationship with Adamus.
Again, every night watching the sunset. That's Linda and I relaxing at the end of a long day.
Every night the sunset is stunning. And you never know what it's going to be.
Yeah. Anyway.
So we're a little in love with it.
Yeah, we launched it. It's done. I mean, it's like And we'll have quite a few more events coming up. Some are already scheduled, some we're putting on the calendar for the coming months, up I think now through early next year. So that's Villa Amio. Okay, let's talk about upcoming Shaumbra events. And I think a lot of these might be sold out, so, we'll go
But that's
quickly.
not.
But this isn't. Next weekend, well, actually starting on Friday, is Aspectology Online. It is one of the Crimson Circle core classes. It's really an amazing, what we call it, kind of a new energy psychology, featuring channels, the original channels with Tobias, and also the updates with Adamus. So that's next Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You can register, I think, up until the day before. And Linda and I will host it live with the production crew from here in the studio.
It is an incredibly valuable class. It's a counterpart to SES in a way.
It is.
We all have parts and pieces to ourselves, and this really helps map that out, helps you become aware of what you don't already know and how to use what you do know. And by knowing this material, it also helps you understand others in ways I never had imagined before. So it's incredibly valuable and definitely right behind SES.
Yes, they're almost like sisters, cousins or something. Well, no, in a nice way.
Sisters? That sounds bitchy.
In a nice way, but I mean they're very compatible. They go hand in hand. With if you've taken SES, then aspectology is kind of the perfect complement. I'll take back that sister comment. Okay, we're going to do a little recap on aspectology, just give you a taste of what's contained in these beautiful materials.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
Aspectology, fascinating, amazing, truly new energy psychology, a new way of looking at what happens to the being, particularly when they come to Earth, they forget about who they really are, but yet they're still making these aspects. They'll disguise themselves as ghosts and boogeymen and evil spirits and demons. And, well, so many of you have done that in the past. You think you're being followed or even inhabited by some evil spirit. It's not. It's simply an aspect. The aspects that you've created for whatever reason are simply wanting to come back home. That's it. How many of the thoughts that you've had are not yours? They belong to an aspect. That was like 40 years ago. How often when you hear this negative voice, is it not really yours, but belonging to an aspect or a group of aspects? Traditional psychology has an unwritten core belief that there is something broken at the center, at the core of the person, and that it must be fixed. The new energy psychology of aspectology understands that at the core, at the soul level, it is total perfection. It is natural for any creator being to create actors of itself, to create aspects that will serve it. It is a natural thing for all of these aspects to return back home sooner or later. In this beautiful, beautiful dynamic, the soul remains pure and clear. And this is the blessing of the creation of aspects. What emerges is a wiser human, a more enlightened human, and a human who's no longer afraid of themselves or their actions or their thoughts, but understands that aspects can be consciously created and consciously reintegrated all of the time. It recreates a natural type of flow, the constant creation of aspects to serve you, and the constant re-invitation for them to come back, and they do. It eliminates those crazy thoughts, those voices, that constant constant judgment upon yourself. The mind quiets down, and the fear seems to go away. A new trust in the deepest parts of yourself is reestablished, and you live each moment in a very balanced and integrated relationship with yourself, in a trust that you haven't felt in eons of time. This isn't a mess. Well, it looks to be a mess. But it's actually a brilliant example of the creator abilities of each and every one of you. It's just that it's gotten a little messy. It's gotten a little, you've forgotten where it's being created from, who's creating it. You tend to think that these have influence or power over you. And you know what? The minute that you start thinking that and believing that, it happens. It's a great game. But at any point, what a creator has created can be uncreated, or it can be recreated in any way the creator wants. So, you don't like this? You feel intimidated by it, overwhelmed by it, disempowered by it, or anything else? You are the creator the moment you step forward and accept that. You may not want to accept it. You may say, oh, that's so much work, or, gee, I don't know if I want to take responsibility. Oh, then it'll remain like this. And that's okay. It's just the game of creatorship.
They gave me hope for cleaning my closet.
Not going to happen. Aspectology next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday online, hosted live by Linda and I from here in the studio. So it's one of my favorite.
How many people here have done aspectology? Wow. Wow,
Yeah.
most. That's
Yeah.
great. Wow. Did you like it? I mean, it's not something you like. Did you
No, you
appreciate
don't
it? Yeah?
Yeah.
It's life-changing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So speaking of upcoming events, we
Oh,
are
no.
going back to Hawaii.
Oh, we
and
have to go back to Hawaii
gotta
so
go
soon.
back, baby.
Oh.
Amio retreat. And now that we've done it, I'm really, really excited because
Yeah, I am too.
I liked it a lot.
And we know
Amio
how to do it, even with a rainstorm and to eat
Trees coming
outside and trees
down,
coming
yeah,
down
yeah.
and people inside or outside. Now
Yeah,
we can do it.
Yeah. Amio is the good life, the master's life. And
It is.
Adamus had some beautiful, beautiful channels related to that. So, and then right after that, a couple days later, we are doing another Amio retreat in Spanish. And poor Billy's not here today, too. Oh, she is. Why do I always think you're gone? 'Cause I see an empty booth back there. Hi, Billy. Good to have you back. Were you gone? Maybe. Okay. She's speaking in Spanish. I don't understand a word she says. Anyway, we do have 2 spaces left for the Villa Amio in Spanish.
And we have simultaneous translation equipment, so we think it'll go really quite well. We're pretty excited about that potential. Meaning also, if you're in a group from another country that would prefer an event done at the Amio, you need to let us know. We can definitely create an event in your language because we have the simultaneous translation equipment there to accommodate any group that size.
I've got one of those little headsets that I ordered too that can translate like 22 different languages, and you put a little thing in your ear and you have your iPhone.
That has
I won't
not-
be able to speak it, but
That
I
has
can.
not been actually
I don't
released
have
yet.
it yet.
They're threatening to create
Right,
it.
right. But it'll be cool because I'll just walk around like listening to everyone. What do you say, Linda? Okay, in
You can read my mind. You don't need to hear the words. And come on, let's get real here.
in May, we're off to Europe with a beautiful gathering in Bergen, Norway. It's the Master's Guide to New Energy Living. We haven't done it yet, so we don't know, but we
It'll
do
be
know.
great, and it's up by the fjords, so people up there can go do field trips to go see the fjords.
And we want to thank Inga and Mariana for all the
Absolutely.
great work they're doing in putting that together. It's sold out. Ah, dang. And then it's back to Denmark, just Denmark, for the threshold. We do have 2
Where?
spaces. Denmark.
We're
We do
in
have two
Denmark.
spaces.
Denmark's a big country.
We do have 2 spaces open on that yet. It's the Threshold, my favorite. We just did it in Hawaii. And
What's your favorite?
Threshold.
Oh, in what town?
So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that. Colorado coming up. Colorado in the summer. It's always beautiful, beautiful being back here in the summer months. So talking about some of the events at the studio, we've got, first of all, the Sexual Energy School online coming up the 15th through the 17th. It's the Sexual Energy School. I mean,
It's important because,
it's important.
well, it's important, so important that, as you know, it's a prerequisite now for most of the live events. So if you plan to go to a live event in the near future, we really request that you do, indulge and take SES so that you're able to apply for other live events.
So the one in June is going to be hosted live by Linda and I right here from the studio. If you haven't taken it or you want to take it again, it's coming up in June. After that, the channeling workshop, we're down to 2 spaces. We have like 10 applications for those spaces.
Applications don't count.
They don't count. But I'm just saying, if you're thinking about going, first of all, you need to apply.
Right.
And secondly, you can't just go register, you have to apply. And there's only 2 spaces left, so if you have applied and you haven't registered yet, you might want to do it pretty soon.
The application is so that we can verify the SES, that you've taken SES. But once we've approved that, you do not have a guaranteed spot until you actually registered. And CESA asked me to please remind people, once your application is approved, you should try to sign up as soon as possible because your space is not guaranteed until you actually formally register.
And by the second day, we are actually getting into channeling. The first day has a lot of basics and fundamentals, and Linda and I love sharing our stories, and I'm sure everybody loves hearing them, but we love just sharing the stories of what we learned over the years.
The experience.
Yeah. But by the second day, we're into it, and third day, we're really into it.
Yeah.
If you just even want to learn how to sense, to feel things, that's really actually what it's more about.
I was intimidated by doing the class originally, but what I can honestly say is every time we do it, everyone that takes the class walks away with something. And different
Dizzy,
people.
delirious.
No,
No, kind of from the channeling. It makes you,
well, I'm just
makes
saying
you
that.
dizzy.
Oh, Jeffrey. I'm just saying that everyone has an experience that they seem to be happy with, that it opens up and expands each of us, and everyone in a different way. Some people, you just can't shut them up once they've done the channeling workshop,
Yeah.
and others are just like, I'm so opened up and feeling in ways I had not imagined. So either way, there are many different experiences that people have with it and outcomes, but it's always very positive, and that's why we keep agreeing to do it, because I'm always so happy with the result, and Jeff is too.
And then coming up on August 25th.
Oh, what day is that?
It was before my birthday.
That's the day
but-
before Jeff's birthday. So we're going to have to make that into quite an event, right?
Coming
like
up
a timeshare, you
August
just can't get rid of them.
25th. They're back. We're getting together with Steve Rother and Jim Self right back here in the studio. Last summer we did the, I forgot what the title was, but it was Channelers of Change. And we liked it so much, we said, let's get back together here at the Crimson Circle studio. And our theme, our topic for this coming year is the new human species.
I wonder who influenced that.
Everybody. We're going to talk about the new human species, and we're going to do it like last time. We're not really like in a deep channel, but we all know the entities are standing right close by. Linda's going to moderate. We're going to talk about what each of us sees coming with that new human species. You've heard some of Adamus' talk about it, but it's going to be interesting to work together with Steve and Jim. Anyway, that's coming up August 25th. And it's right here at the Crimson Circle. It's going to be free online, but if you come here to the studio, $25 per person, but we have a wine and cheese party. Okay. That helps defray some of the travel costs. Italy.
It also, the wine and cheese helps attract people.
That's true. Italy. We go to Italy in September and doing the Master's Guide to New Energy
suffering
Living.
in Italy? Gosh, I got to get my leather list together.
I think there's only 2 spaces left on that, so that's, we didn't even, I think it was only been out for a month and it's almost sold out.
Yeah.
So if you're interested, let us know right away. And then after that, off to beautiful, beautiful Lake Bled, Slovenia for,
Oh, it's truly beautiful.
yeah, the magic of the Masters
It
gathering.
looks like Disney.
It does, it does. And I kind of cheated a little bit with the typeface, giving it that Disney kind of look. But no, that's the island in the middle of the lake, and you can either row out there or swim.
You can tour it. You can actually tour the little castle out there. It's pretty
Lake
cool.
Bled is truly, truly
Really
beautiful.
beautiful.
And we're going to be gathering with the Masters. We already have about 230, 240 signed up for the event, so it's about 60% sold out already. We're going to have a lot of music, Robs. It'll just be a magical Shaumbra gathering.
And you can walk around the lake in one afternoon. I mean, it's really a beautiful walk, as you can see. And it's, it's outside, away from all the city junky stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just beautiful, and the hotels are all almost right on the lake. And Slovenia is a very reasonably priced European country as well.
Yeah, it is. So that's coming up. If you're interested, make sure to register soon so you're not disappointed, because, like I said, it's over 60% full right now. And it hasn't even been out for a full month yet, so do make sure to register. Okay, what's coming up next after that? Huh? Oh, the clock. Oh, she's saying hurry along, stop chatting so much. After that is in November, we're doing another AMIO retreat back in Hawaii. We just announced that just opened up. And
It's
we
half sold out
have
already.
14 spaces left, so yeah.
Don't wait too long.
Yeah, don't wait too long. Okay, so now getting on with Shaumbra news.
Oh.
Yeah. That always comes on so loud. It's like,
I
wow.
know.
Well, I think it's because it's important.
It sounds like Fox News.
No, I don't know. Well, Linda, how would you know what Fox News sounds like? Anyway, as always, make sure to check out the amazing Shaumbra magazine. Every month, great articles. We really have some good ones this month in particular. All the news about what's happening at Crimson Circle, and great read. You can either download it online, or if you're on the mailing list, you'll automatically be sent a message. Good. And brand new on the Cloud class is Dreamwalker Death. We finally decided to make it available on the Cloud class. It's one of those core Crimson Circle classes. It's one of the ones I love channeling the most, because we learn about death. Adamus talks about what really happens when you transition, and it takes so much of the fear out of it.
Yeah, there's so much scary crap. You grow up hearing, like what it's like, and every time you do something wrong, you're told you're going to go burn in hell. And I mean, so you're kind of emblazoned with all this negative, nasty talk.
And he really changes the whole perspective of that, and also goes through in a lot of detail how to do a dream walk for somebody who's transitioning or who has just transitioned. I've done a couple for people, my relatives who have passed on. It's one of the most beautiful things you'll ever experience, doing this dream walk for those who are crossing over. And it's so profound, and it literally takes all the fear out of death.
One of the reasons we have decided to go ahead and release that online is because notoriously we got so many requests from people that immediately would find out that they had lost a relative,
Yeah.
or a relative that was diagnosed with a very serious disease, and so they're just absolutely ravaged trying to find a Dreamwalker Death class, and there wasn't anything close enough or more available. So after having so many incidences with that, we decided it was time to allow it to be offered
It's
online.
truly beautiful. And I believe we have just a short little clip to give you a taste for Dreamwalker Death, now available for the first time ever on the Cloud class. You have 90 days access once you sign up for it. It's not hosted like some of our other stuff. It's you watch it on your own. Death is one of the biggest consciousness blocks on this planet. Death, there's so much fear, so much misunderstanding, and so much misinformation about death. The concepts of death that you have on the planet right now were created by people who were alive. They really had no concept or clue of what took place because up until now, the remembrance of the death and then of the rebirth are mostly forgotten. When there is a fear of death, when there is a belief that when you die, you either go out of existence or you end up going to heaven or hell, when there is a belief like that, it keeps one from being free. You'll never be able to live with that old concept of death. We're going to be learning about death itself and learning how to guide others on what we call the dream walk. But also, these few days, you'll be going through your embodied death. Physical being, the mental being is still going to be there, but you're allowing the grandest of all transitions, and you're allowing yourself finally to have freedom, to be the sovereign being that you are. Dreamwalkers are guides for those who are transitioning. This is the beginning of the school and the end of the school. You are guides without agenda. Guides who go on a loving and beautiful and very sacred walk with those who are departing. You will find the dream walks that you do to be very rewarding to you. You will find it very easy, even when you're not doing a dream walk, to be able to open your energies and dance in the dimensions. You'll be able to expand yourself easily in the now moment that you have as a human and to open up into the other realms. Imagine how much more you could actually enjoy your life right now if you were able to totally let go of that fear of death. So it leads to the next question. What's going to happen to you? You'll realize that upon your physical death, that you bring your body with you. You're going to feel suddenly this beautiful kind of an integration of all of this coming together, kind of like it's all being brought back into the whole, the physical, mental, and spirit. You're going to arrive on the new earth, and I think the thing that's going to be most exhilarating is the beauty of the physical body that was hard to experience here on earth. And you're going to create this, just take a moment to feel into it. You're going to create the most amazing expression of yourself in a physical form. The next transition from New Earth is going to be to Theos. Theos is kind of like a very special, beautiful place on the New Earth. It's like the spa wing on the New Earth. You're going to go there to rejuvenate, to really integrate in a way that you haven't done in ages and ages. I dare say that you really didn't take this course to learn how to dream walk others to the other side. It's a side benefit, but I think you really took it for you to make that transition, to allow what you would call death, but it's really the birth.
The update on Dreamwalker Death was incredible because it really has a lot of supportive information that's so related to the embodied enlightenment and how to move on and still stay on the planet. And I found that addition was priceless that was added to it in the update that you channeled with Adamus.
By the way, I
recently.
noticed we've really come a long way over the years. In Dreamwalker Death, in the original channels, I was still channeling with my eyes closed and sitting down, but I could tell Adamus was just wanting to come out of my body and just get up, and he was just like so agitated. But we also had our set design.
He didn't want to see the set either.
We took some red tablecloths and hung it behind us.
That was not my idea.
I know, but we've come a long way. Yeah. Anyway, Dreamwalker Death. It was one of the three if I just had three wishes, three courses to take, it would be SES, Aspectology, Dreamwalker, Death.
Totally agree.
Just amazing. Yeah,
Totally
those
agree.
are my favorites. Okay, and speaking of favorites, one of the favorite things that Linda and I do on a regular basis is Kihak. It's twice a month. No matter where in the world we are, we get on the phone or we do a recording.
You mean physically?
Yeah, no matter where we happen to be, we do Kihak, and it's I love it. It's a little bit different flavor of Adamus, and what?
It's beyond a different flavor. I don't mean to do that in a corrective way, but I just did.
You just did.
But you have to be humble, and I don't, because you're the channeler. No, it's Adamus at a greater depth. In other words, he says everything in the shouts, but with Kihak, he expands on it and takes it deeper. And because it's everyone listens to it at their own computer in their own safe space. The feedback we constantly get is that they feel it in a very personal way. Everyone, we hear that back time and time and time again, and it's for me, even myself, listening to it. As we go on this crazy journey, and sometimes it's just like, oh my God. With Kihak, it's like, okay, it's Kihak. And I just listen to Kihak, and it kind of resets things and moves things forward. So I think Kihak is one of the most supportive tools you can do for yourself at this time and always forward. And again, the continuity of it is such an incredible support on the journey. That's
So
all
we
I
have-
meant to say.
Thank you. So we have Kihak, and also you and Dr. Doug do a show called Living in Kihak, where they kind of review, summarize, and kind of humanize a lot of the material Adamus is talking about. So anyway, we're really into Kihak 7 right now, but we want to let you know Kihak 8 is going to be opening for registration soon. Let's take a look. Ooh, I got the chills. Wow.
I applaud
Get
you
the
for being
chills.
able to channel that material. It's incredible.
So just to let you know, it's coming up for registration, and we actually launch it in, I think, late June, and the first channels begin
end of
in
June.
July. And what's really funny is when I remember when Adamus first announced Kihak, it was when we were still up at the Cold Creek Hall, and I think it was in about March or April, and he said, by the way, here's this new program we're going to do, and he had the staff scurrying to try to put together, get it ready for June. And then I thought it would be the same thing every year, just kind of repeating a program. It's not. Every year, totally different.
It evolves.
It evolves. Truly beautiful. Just a couple other quick notes before we go on break. Remember no more. At least that is with Master's Life 6, no more. It was Master's Life 6, if you've listened to it, is one of those really kicks you in the butt in a good way. But it was unexpected. Adamus came along in this whole series of Master's Life. I and then just kind of stopped and said, okay, we got some issues to address here. And I know a lot of Shaumbra initially, we're saying, well, I really don't have any issues. I don't need this. But when Adamus gets in with you, with Masters Life 6, you realize.
There's some clarity.
Yeah. So we're really proud of it. And it's got a 5-star rating from Shaumbra, who do the reviewing and the rating online.
As well as people.
Yeah, all over. So anyway, do check it out, Masters Life 6. No more. Now available as a cloud class.
Oh.
Okay. Whew. We got through everything.
And
Amazing.
on time.
And on time, believe it or not.
Wow.
Wow. Anyway, we're going to take a break. We'll be back at 2:30 Colorado time. And thank you, everybody who's watching in online from all around the world. We appreciate it. Can't wait to hear
2:30 is about 1/2 hour from now.
about a half hour from now.
Okay.
So with that, and sorry for those of you who are here today, we're having little technology challenges these days. One of them is the espresso machine. Not working. And have you noticed that recently just technology stuff is going wacky? Yeah, just really, really wacky.
It's the Russians.
No, we love the Russians.
I'm not talking about Russian Shaumbra.
Anyway, so we're going to take a break, and we'll be back in about 30 minutes. Thank you for being here. Look forward to
Thank
see
you,
what
everyone.
Adamus says.
Thank you.
Thank you.